we are going to look at gel electrophoresis, and I'm going to use Star Wars as my example. So it took me a while, but I went all over the galaxy and I was able to collect 6 different DNA samples from the following people: Darth Vader, Padme, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Kylo Ren. And what I ended up doing is I collected their DNA, and then I need to cut their DNA up by using an enzyme. And this enzyme is going to be very specific, and it's only going to cut between double G, double C. So I've cut it there. Here's another double G, double C, and another. So I'm cutting that up because that is where the enzyme cuts. Now I'm going to count the number of base pairs that I have here, and in this first cut piece it is 7. The next cut piece is 3, and then 5, and so on. So now I've cut up my DNA pieces, and I want to figure out what amounts I have, and it turns out I've got pieces that are in the size of the 3, 5, 7, and 9 range. I did this with all of our characters here, and I've placed their DNA fragments color-coded on the right. Now, a gel electrophoresis, what that is where you take somebody's DNA, you put some enzymes that cut it up in specific spots, and then you place it into this gel, and you run an electrical current through it. And since the DNA fragments have a charge to them, and an electrical current has a charge, it's going to move these fragments through the gel. So I'm going to take the 3, 5, 7, and 9 of Darth Vader. I'm going to run it through the gel, and as you can see, the smaller fragments move further because they're easier to move through the gel. The holes through the gel allow for smaller pieces to make it through, and you end up getting that characteristic banding pattern. Now here's Padme. I'm going to take her 17, 13, 11, and 15 fragments, run it through the gel with electricity, and I get that. And I can see that these two individuals are not related because they do not share any banding patterns. Now let's look at Luke Skywalker, and when we spread his DNA fragments out, you'll see that half of his DNA is matching Darth Vader and half of his DNA is matching Padme. And we'll discuss what that means in a minute here. So there's Princess Leia with her segments, Han Solo, and Kylo Ren. And again, I've spread them all out using electricity, and it is being sorted based on size. The smaller pieces move further than the bigger pieces because they're easier to move through. So what does that actually mean? So let's take a look at Luke Skywalker. If I look at Darth Vader, you can see that half of his DNA made it to Luke Skywalker. Darth Vader is older than him, so I can assume, since it's half his DNA, that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. Padme, you can see that half of her DNA made it to Luke Skywalker, so that means, it probably means Padme is Luke's mother. Alright, now let's take a look at Princess Leia. You will see that she has half the DNA of Darth Vader, therefore Darth Vader is her dad, and then half from Padme. And now you can also assume that Luke and Princess Leia are brother and sister, since they both are sharing half the DNA from both Padme and Darth Vader. Now if we take a look at Princess Leia and Kylo Ren, you can see that half of her DNA makes it to Kylo Ren, which means that Kylo Ren would be her son. And you can see Han Solo does not share any DNA with Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Padme, or Darth Vader, so he is not related to any of them, but he does have half of his DNA matching Kylo Ren, which would make him Kylo Ren's father. So Princess Leia and Han Solo have had a son named Kylo Ren. So if I take a look at a family tree or a pedigree chart here, I'm going to place Padme in this circle because she's older than Princess Leia there. And there's Princess Leia, and we said that that was the daughter. We also said that Darth Vader was Princess Leia's father, so I can place that in the square there. Squares are males, circles are females. We said that Kylo Ren was Princess Leia's son, so I can put that down there. And then Han Solo was Kylo Ren's dad, and that leaves Luke Skywalker off to the side. So that is the family tree for Star Wars. And the classic scene that you know with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker is this.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
No. It's not true.
So if we take a look at that, is that in fact true? And we know that it is because we saw it with the DNA. He had half the DNA of Darth Vader, and we can see the line off of the family tree or the pedigree chart that they are in fact connected. So that is gel electrophoresis using Star Wars as an example. I hope that made sense.